Chapter 9 of Fluids from Pearson Science book, and here we are dealing with the questions. First question here is matter can exist as a solid, liquid, or gas, in which state matter is snow, air, and water. So you easily distinguish between snow, air, and water within solid, liquid, and gas. Solid, liquid, and gases have different properties. How are they different in terms of shape? Solid, fixed shape, liquid don't have fixed shape, and gas again don't have fixed shape. But within the liquid and gas, the difference is liquid doesn't have fixed shape, but it just take the shape of the container, and gas it just collect the entire volume. It just occupies the entire volume. Fixed volume. Liquid again fixed volume. Gas doesn't have fixed volume. It can be compressed or expanded according to the size of the container. So just some of the problems the people are facing in the photo. So it's a submarine. So all of the submersible objects, because water is a high density. So when you move low the within the system towards the bottom, there will be more pressure on the system. So you have an ability to overcome the pressure. Your system must be very robust. The water supply system, it's like ice everywhere, so it might be the very main problem of freezing water anywhere in the pipes, in the tap, everywhere, and the fluid is not running in the system which we require normally. Fuel storage is all obviously the problem. Movement of fuel will be the problem. Then the astronaut, they're here. Obviously, we all know that we don't have gravity, and all of the things move according to gravity, even the water. And if there is no gravity, water just flow around, the fluids just flow around, and they just stick to anywhere around. And even the fluid of your body, which is blood, it does not move in downward direction, it moves in upward direction, which causes problem. Name three different solid materials, liquids and gases. So you can write any of the name. Write down the similarity and difference between the properties of solid and liquid. Similarity is solid and liquid both have definite shape. Difference is solid have definite shape but not definite volume. But liquids just take the shape of the container, so no definite shape. Liquid and gases, similarity, differences, similarities. Both liquid and gases, they can flow, they can take shape of the container, but liquid have definite volume, but gases don't. How does the arrangement and spacing particles explain? Why it is difficult to compress solid and liquid? Solid and liquid is difficult to compress because all of the particles are very closer together. There is not much spaces between them. That's why. And gases are easily compressed because all of the particles are so away from each other. There are much empty spaces, so you can compress. Why solid keep their shape? Solid keep their shape because there is a strong forces of attraction between all of the particles. So it doesn't matter if you're holding the pen or throw away the pen, pen remains it's in shape. So that is because of the fixed particles. Why gases expand to fill their container? Because gases doesn't have that much attractive forces. They are away from each other. So if you give more space to them, obviously they will fly or just get use that more space. A substance cools when energy is transferred away from it. When energy is transferred away from it, obviously the particles movement will be slower, the kinetic energy will be less, and there will be attractive forces which build up there. And the size of the object will be reduced because, as we talked about earlier, that there is less energy in the particles. They are coming closer to each other, so obviously the size decreases. How a thermometer works? Thermometer work on thermal expansion. We use mercury, and mercury is sensitive for to heat. And we can also build your own thermometer just by using any of the bottle. Just fill it with water and put your straw. You can use straw or any narrow tube here and heat the system. The water will rise upward. A bridge is built without expansion gaps. Explain what will happen to the bridge if the temperature become more hot, much hotter. If it is hotter, obviously it will be the particles gain energy. The bridge will be expanded, and if there is not any space for their expansion, so it may bend or crack, or your bridge might be broken. Much colder than the day. So in that case, the particles, in the earlier case, when it is hotter, the particles move away from each other. They will get more space. And in the colder cases, the particles move towards each other, and they will be closer to each other and less space they cover. So they might cause structural damage because the material are under tension. And expansion gaps help prevent these problems by allowing the bridge to safely expand and contract with temperature changes. Now we have there is density related numericals. We have a piece of metal which is width 2 centimeter, length 5, and height 1.5. We need to calculate the volume. So if we have a regular shape, we have a formula to calculate the volume, length into width into height. So you put all of the values and you will get the answer. Then describe how to measure the volume of a piece of modeling clay. It's an irregular shape object. So irregular shape object, we calculate the volume. You just need a measuring cylinder, fill it with water up to a certain level, and just read the volume. Gently place your modeling clay and submerge, wait for submerging, then record the new water level, subtract that, and you will get the answer. Then calculate the density of the piece of iron shown in photo. Your mass of iron cube is 64 and the one side length is 2 centimeter. To calculate the density, the only formula we have, density is equal to mass over volume. So calculate the volume. You have an iron cube and it's a cube. So its all lengths are 2 centimeter. So volume is 2 into 2 into 2, which is 8. Mass is 64. 64 divided by 8, you will get your answer. The density of aluminium is 2.7 gram per centimeter cube, and you have a piece of aluminium with a volume of 50 centimeter cube. So we have density, we have volume, and what formula we need here to calculate the mass? Density is equal to mass over volume. So if you rearrange the formula, mass is equal to density into volume. You just need to just put the values and multiply it, and you will get the answer. And what is the volume of 810 gram of aluminium? 8, if you have 810 gram of aluminium, you already have density. You just put the value and you can calculate the volume. Then for this video, these questions are enough, and the remaining will be covered in the next video.